This is ICP, Internet Computer. What has been happening with ICP here since the pump that has happened a few weeks ago? Let's talk about what's happening on the weekly time frame here because this is the most important picture I'm seeing for ICP. What's been going on here is a falling wedge pattern that has been forming since March of last year. And a falling wedge pattern is a bullish pattern that usually breaks to the upside, okay? Always have to mind the downside risk, of course, because I've seen falling wedges break down, but they have a higher chance of breaking to the upside. Let's say if ICP breaks to the upside by this point, for example, price target would still be about $22 almost for ICP. So let's see if it's actually able to do that. ICP did try to break out of this pattern here about 3 weeks ago, okay, on the week of November 3rd. However, it did get a rejection at a major moving average, which is the weekly 200 SMA on the orange line here. Now, whenever you see a moving average that is going to be your support or resistance for the first time, I would usually expect that to be very strong support or resistance, and you're seeing that right now. However, if you actually continue to retest that resistance, it becomes weaker and you get likelier to break above it. Okay, so let's see if ICP can actually retest the weekly 200 and actually break above it this time. If it does, let's take a look into the daily time frame here. Okay, daily time frame. This is, I talked about a falling wedge pattern here as well. And I'm going to go ahead and put this measure move down along this upward trend line here just to give it a little bit more time to play out. Now, price target for this smaller falling wedge pattern here now is about $6 for ICP. Now, price targets are estimates only. There could be more, there could be less, a lot of which does depend on what happens with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin has more room to pump, that is going to be very good for a lot of these altcoins. However, if it dumps, these altcoin setups, they're not going to matter very much. There is also possible bullish divergence on the daily time frame and a double bottom, okay, a small double bottom here, which is also a bullish pattern that has a higher chance of breaking to the upside. Okay, so that is going to be like a sub pattern of this second falling wedge pattern here. The price target for this double bottom would be about $5. Got quite a bit of resistance to be paying attention to, including our daily 21 and the daily 200. Okay, let's just say if this falling wedge pattern fails and actually breaks down, ICP could still be looking at a scenario where even though it's going to look like there's going to be more downside, there's also potential double bottom here on the weekly time frame, but that also means that you're going to have to see more downside out of ICP. It's going to the bottom here would be about close to be $3, okay, before a potential double bottom with very high likelihood of bullish divergence. But like I said, that's going to take more downside to see. So this is basically what I'm seeing for ICP. I am long on quite a bit of the altcoins here. I am not long on ICP right now. But if you guys want to continue seeing more of ICP, make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe. Of course, everything I'm saying here is just purely my opinions and what I'm doing personally, what I think personally. So you guys gotta form your own opinions and strategies. This is not financial advice. I'll see you guys on the next one.